My name is Jenna Palant, and I'm a style-crazed full-time creative living in sunny San Diego. In 2016, my husband and I purchased our forever home, and now, in between balancing my upholstery business, our 4 dogs, and just life in general, I'm going to renovate our home room by room, project by project myself, with some fun help from a few of my friends along the way. And I'm going to share it all with you right here on YouTube. So, are you ready to see a room bloom?
Happy almost, it won't be 2020 soon, color lovers. How was your holiday? No matter what or how you celebrated, I hope it was a lovely and colorful one for you and yours. For the Palants, in a lot of ways, it felt very much like our first ever Christmas together, as this was the first one in our 9 years that Dee didn't have to work. And it was just wonderful, to say the least. The best ever in my life's recollection, in fact. Oh, his gifts were so tremendously thoughtful. But more on those later, as I, like with many other projects here on Room Bloom, underestimated the amount of time it would take for me to finish my next home renovation project. I had said it would be revealed on the 23rd of December, and here we are 2 days away from 2021. So, sorry about that, loves. The great news is, though, I had myself a little bit of a Christmas miracle and managed to finish today's furniture reveal right before Christmas Eve night. And that made me feel so gosh darn good and probably helped factor such an awesome holiday for my husband and I. Either way, our formal living room officially has a bar buffet beside its bar, with overflow storage for said bar. A $65 gem I found at the San Diego Habitat for Humanity's Restore, a discount home improvement retailer that helps local families build and buy their own stable, affordable homes, ensuring that everyone in our community has a decent place to live. It's an absolute wonderful nonprofit to support, especially if you're an interior designer. So I got her, but of course I could not leave her as is. As soon as my eyes saw her, I had a past Fendi collection zap into my creative psyche, and off to my home away from home I went, the Home Depot, to select the most beautiful paint colors. 18 paint colors to be exact, 4 of the 18 being from BEHR Paint's new Color Trends 2021. But for me, selecting paint colors for any project is the easy part. The hard part comes when it's time to actually get to work. First, disassembling this formal living room's future bar buffet, so I could give her a good overall cleaning, vacuuming out any cobwebs and other debris. Next, prepping its entire surface for primer by wiping it down with liquid sandpaper, which works a lot like Krud Cutter's Gloss Off. And then, in an attempt to not have dog hair everywhere in my primer and paint, I rolled the furniture piece outside for the remainder of the project. Once outside, I taped off any area where I didn't want primer nor paint to be. I used wood filler to make any necessary repairs to the furniture's past wear and tear. I also decided that drawer pulls were unnecessary and would distract from the overall design that was floating around in my mind's eye. So I took them off as well and ultimately plugged them, using both 5/16 flathead plugs and wood filler to help make those drawer pulls a distant memory. Then, once the drawer wood filler had dried, a quick sanding before prepping them as well with tape for the primer. Leaving only one task left for the day. It was time to prime. The next day, after the primer was allowed to dry overnight, I did some light sanding over all the primed surfaces, negating any little piece of debris that might have landed on her as she dried. That's also when I discovered that all but one of the drawers would require some additional wood filler to remedy seeing the past damage the drawer pulls had caused. After additional wood filler was applied, I started creating my design idea. First, taping off the main furniture colors area, which always takes longer than expected. Definitely a test in project patience, that's for sure. But remember, all these steps are setting you up for home renovation success. So please, please stick to it, because once it's done, and the exciting part is finally here. Paint. Which for this particular project, I am using BEHR Paint's interior cabinet and trim enamel as its main paint in a mouth-watering brown velvet, which totally reminds me of milk chocolate, by the way. And by day 3, I only had a few touch-up areas left with the brown velvet, meaning I could start popping some colors into this painting project. Starting with BEHR Paint's Sparkling Emerald, next Solarium, then Tart Orange, Yucatan, followed by Flirt Alert, Kiss and Tell, Deep River, Nocturne Blue, BFF, Mystic Turquoise, Venom, Laser Lemon, Broadway, Sunset Pink, Euphoric Magenta, Green Parakeet, ooh, that one's fun to say, Barnwood Gray, and last but definitely not least, Dark Crimson. My original plan was to keep painting these drawers outside. I mean, it is December in Southern California after all, but my dog mom heart could not take hearing our fur babies whining on the other side of our front door. So for round 2 of each square's color, I took over our entire kitchen island and stayed there for the remainder of the project. Binge watching season 1 of The Crown, yes, I just started it, as I mindlessly got my creative on, using only BEHR Paint colors from the Home Depot, which helped take my creative idea from its original concept and morphed it into a tangible, resourceful beauty that looks good enough to eat, y'all. Straight up eye candy. Now, I do realize that some of you will be more than troubled with me getting rid of the drawer pulls, but the fact of the matter is we don't need no stinking drawer pulls, especially when you could buy these Everbuilt single touch latches from the Home Depot. I mean, how rad is that? If you need me, I'll just be over here playing with my drawers. I hope you enjoyed this additional last-minute project for our formal living room space. I am 1000% sure there is going to be some more projects in here because this space still does not feel finished to me. I mean, sure, I have tackled a lot in here. There's the fireplace project with muralist Ruben Rojas, this groovy, made by yours truly, disco ball coffee table. Then there are those cool rod plaster bookshelves I reimagined with paint, the built-in bar where I broke new ground and tiling design and used brass as grout instead of actual grout. And of course, we cannot forget about that dang 70s sofa that took me 7 months to complete because of that back-ordered fabric nightmare, which is now complete, by the way, with its bougie bullion fringe. But again, this formal living room still feels incomplete. There is, of course, a missing chandelier or fan or whatever we decide to put up there. I also desperately need artwork for there, and possibly even there. But the truth of the matter is, I need a break from this space. So I am moving on to another room of our home. And that, y'all, is the Atomic Atrium Project. More details coming this Friday in a special New Year's Day episode. And yes, it will actually be happening as it's already done, ready to air. So see you in the new year, color loves, as in Friday. Laters.